You know how everyone's been talking about the AI revolution? Well, what if I told you it's about to get a whole lot bigger and way, way cheaper? We're diving headfirst into what I'm calling the Great AI Gold Rush of 2025. This is a massive shift, and it's putting some seriously cutting-edge AI power into pretty much everyone's hands. So yeah, let's get right into it. And look, this quote from MadAppGang's CTO, Jack Rudenko, it just nails it. The whole idea that you needed a massive corporate budget to play with top-tier AI, yeah, that's over. It's done. The kind of power that used to cost a fortune is now, quite literally, at your fingertips. And a lot of the time, it's totally free. This isn't just some minor update, you guys. This is a revolution. So, the big question is, why? What kicked off this gold rush? How did we get here so incredibly fast? In this first part, we're going to break down the one thing that basically flipped the entire table and changed the game. And it all boils down to a massive shift in the economics of building world-class AI. It really all started with this one company, DeepSeek. They just came out of nowhere and dropped an absolute bombshell, a model they called R1. And get this, it could go toe-to-toe with the reasoning power of giants like GPT-4. I mean, this wasn't just another small step forward. This was a full-on David versus Goliath moment. It proved once and for all that you don't have to be a tech titan anymore to build world-class AI. Okay, now let's talk money, because this is where things just get insane. DeepSeek built this game-changing model for just $5.6 million. In a world where AI projects can easily cost hundreds of millions, that number isn't just a discount, it's a completely different reality. To really put that into perspective for you, what they did is like building a skyscraper for the price of a fancy apartment. It's 100 times cheaper than what companies like OpenAI were spending. And that one breakthrough, it democratized everything. Suddenly, building top-tier AI is actually within reach for so many more people, and that has kicked off a flood of new competition. And of course, that new competition has ignited a fierce battle right at the very top. So next up, we're going to see two new titans step into the ring for the 2025 championship belt. Google's Gemini 3 and OpenAI's GPT-5. Seriously, get ready for a clash of the AI titans. Now, what's fascinating is that these two models are built on totally different philosophies. On one hand, you've got Gemini 3 Pro. It's a true all-rounder, built from the ground up to handle text, images, and video no problem. It uses something called a mixture of experts approach, which is kind of like having a whole team of specialists, one for math, one for language, one for images, and it just sends your question to the right expert for the job. On the other side, you have GPT-5, which is all about being efficient. It uses adaptive reasoning, meaning it's smart about how much brainpower it uses. It saves the heavy lifting for the really tough problem. So, who's the winner? Well, it's not a simple knockout. It's more like a split decision. GPT-5 is an absolute beast for general tasks and for coding. But Gemini 3, it's the undisputed champ in specific areas, like video and math. Plus, it has this massive memory, a 1 million token context window. But honestly, here's the real kicker for anyone building stuff. Gemini is about 42% cheaper to run. When you're building at scale, that is a huge deal. Gemini also has this secret weapon up its sleeve called Deep Think Mode. You can basically think of it as a turbo boost for its brain. When you have a really tough problem, you can tell it, hey, take your time on this one, and it comes back with much, much smarter answers. It's that classic trade-off, right? Do you want it fast or do you want it right? But look, this story isn't just about a battle between giants. The real revolution, the real gold rush, is happening down in the trenches. There's a whole new breed of free and low-cost API providers that are putting all this incredible power directly into your hands. And this, my friends, is where things get really exciting. First up is Google AI Studio. The best way to think about this is as the Clydesdale of the AI world. It's just a powerful, super reliable workhorse. It can handle a massive number of requests without even breaking a sweat, and more importantly, without breaking your bank account. It's your go-to for all those high-volume, everyday tasks. Okay, but what if you need pure, blistering speed? Well, then you need to meet Grok. Grok is the Usain Bolt of the AI world. It can churn out over 300 tokens per second. That is mind-blowingly fast. For any app that needs to feel instant, that needs to feel real-time, Grok is your secret weapon. Next, we've got Together AI. These guys are the specialists in the group. They offer all these unique, fine-tuned models for really specific jobs. And to top it off, they'll give you $25 in free credits just to play around with. It's the perfect way to experiment without spending a single dime. Now, if what you're looking for is just sheer variety, Hugging Face is your one-stop shop. It's not really a single service. It's more like a giant public library with over 300 different models to choose from. Seriously, whether you're trying to write a sonnet or analyze scientific papers, there is a specialized model on there for you. And last, but definitely not least, we have OpenRouter. This is your AI Swiss Army knife. Think of it like a universal adapter that can connect to a huge range of models. So if your favorite service happens to go down, or you just need a very specific model for a one-off task, OpenRouter has got your back. It's your safety net. All right, I know what you're probably thinking right now. This all sounds incredible, but how do I actually get started? Well, in this next section, we're going to give you the keys to the kingdom and show you exactly how to get your hands on these tools, like right now. Okay, want to get your hands on Gemini 3 Pro before almost anyone else? Here's a little-known trick. Google is often A/B testing its new models, and you can sometimes sneak your way into the test group. All you have to do is head over to AI Studio, send the same simple prompt maybe a dozen times, and if you get lucky, you'll see a new interface pop up with 2 model cards. That, my friends, is your golden ticket. And hey, beyond that little hack, Gemini 3 is being woven into the very fabric of the developer world. What that means is you'll soon be able to use its power right inside the tools you already use every day, from GitHub to your favorite code editor. The future of AI is becoming ambient. It's just going to be everywhere. Now for the million-dollar question. How do you use all this amazing tech without going broke? In our final section, we're going to give you a money-saving playbook that'll help you build smarter, not harder, in this new AI landscape. You want to know the golden rule of this new AI world? Do not put all your eggs in one basket. You've got to think of your AI stack like a well-balanced investment portfolio. Use Google AI for your daily grind, Grok when you need a speed boost, Together AI for those specialized tasks, and always keep OpenRouter as your safety net. That is the secret to building a resilient and cost-effective app. And here's a pro tip that could literally save you a fortune. Cache, cache, and then cache some more. So many of your users are going to ask the same questions over and over again. If you just store the answers to those common questions instead of calling the API every single time, you can slash your API bill by over 60%. It is the simplest, most effective way to keep your costs down. But a quick word of warning here, free tiers are fantastic, but they're not a silver bullet. Don't try to build the next Google on a free plan. If you're building something that needs to handle millions of requests a day, you're eventually going to hit a wall. When that happens, you will need to upgrade to a paid plan. But honestly, it's a small price to pay for a scalable product and a happy user base. So there you have it. The AI gold rush is here. The barriers to entry have been absolutely shattered, the cost has plummeted, and the tools of the trade are now in your hands. The power that was once locked away is now available to anyone with a great idea. So the only question left is, what will you build? The future is unwritten, and you have the power to write it. Now go get your piece of the